Okay, so we went ahead and we skipped ahead to step 9. Step 9, part C, shows you a picture of how to wire the wiring harness up to the servo commander. So the servo commander has 2 screws where the power is going to be, and those are Phillips head. Now, what we see here is the red will go connected to the positive side and the white to the negative side, according to the diagram. Now, we're probably going to have to take this off again when we want to wire this up to the actual Hexapod chassis. For the time being, we're just going to go ahead and wire it up now so we can power it up and align the servos. I'm going to change from the regular screwdriver that I was using to a smaller one, simply because I'm seeing that the screws in there are very, very small. That's where one of these kits come in play. Again, you can go to Home Depot, pick up the Husky line. Each one of their little kits are about $5–6, and definitely worth their weight in gold for this type of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen these. They should already be loose, but I'm going to loosen them. You don't have to take out the screws, so make sure you don't. What I recommend is just loosen them enough so that you can fit in the wire. The wire won't always fit in right away, so you got to kind of have to wiggle it. As you can see, I'm suffering with it, struggling with it a little bit. And what I do is, instead of screwing in one at a time, I kind of get the wire in. So I've got the wire in, it's in place, and now I'm going to tighten it. Now you don't have to go crazy either. Plenty of times have we broken these power connectors. So just tighten it enough where you see the cable move, you feel that it's not going to be loose anymore. Once you've tightened it, kind of give it a quick tug, make sure that the power is correct. Next step is you're going to have to plug in the power. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in the power supply. Okay, so this part here, I'm going to kind of rest it on the floor, move it out of the way at least, so that way I can have the working area to myself. Okay, and there's an adapter here for this. So that's great. Now, one thing it says to do is to make sure that the voltage you're getting is about 6 volts. So that's where your multimeter comes into play. Pick up any multimeter. What I suggest is looking at the Robot Tools tutorial or review, and it'll talk about multimeters. But basically, I've picked up this one at Radio Shack, and it works great. Spend the money, get a decent one. Okay. So we're on, and let's make sure that the amount of electricity coming into the coming out of the power supply is the right amount. Last thing we need is to fry one of these boards. Now, jumping back to step 2, where we adjust the servos to the central point, says that let's see here, should be 6 volts. So let's try that out. And there's nothing really to worry about here, just kind of plug it in and make sure. Okay, so we're well within the range. This one's reading at 4.4 or so. So let's go ahead and plug this in. That should give us the power for the servos. And we've checked it. Now the next step is we're going to go ahead and plug in the unit. So this uses a mini USB. So we're going to plug that in as such. And at that point you should see Windows will detect the board if you already have the installed drivers for it, which turns out we do have them. Let me just check the power here. Make sure it's on. Okay. Alright. So, we're ready to go. So we've plugged them all in. It says connect the PC to the Servo Commander via the USB line, which we have done. I kind of just quickly shift this over to this side of the world.